Eventide have done it. They've released the H90, which is very much the evolution of the H9. To say that it's just two H9s crammed into one box doesn't really do it justice, though, because while it has all the same algorithms from the H9 and the ability to run two of them at the same time, plus 10 new algorithms, it's very much been reworked and reimagined from the ground up. You've got 4 inputs and outputs on the back, 2 expression or control jacks, you've got MIDI, you've got a much improved front panel with 3 assignable foot switches, 3 quick access knobs, and these 2 big knobs on the side, which can perform various functions. You've got the H90 Control app, which lets you dive super deep as well, and so many different ways to use this when it comes to routing. You can run it in series or parallel, or having extra inserts, running it as separate effect engines. You kind of get the idea. Eventide went, well, people want 2 H9s in one. How can we take that and really take it past people's wildest dreams? So we're going to hear some sounds. We're going to take a look at the front panel, then I'll dive deep with H90 Control. This is going to be a longer video, so there's timestamps. Feel free to just click around and have a listen. But first, some sounds. Let's take a very quick look at the front panel on the H90. If you're somebody who found the H9 frustrating to use from the front panel, this is going to make you a lot happier because it's a lot clearer. So you've got this big screen in the middle where you can see the program name, wide and clean, and then the two algorithms that make up that program. In this case, we've got micro pitch and SP2016 Reverb. Underneath that, you've got three knobs which can be assigned to any parameters you like. For example, at the moment, I'm controlling the mix of algorithm A over here. Alternatively, I've got the second knob set to pitch mix and the third knob set to pitch A over there. I've got a bunch of buttons here so that I can get into the individual programs. So you can see micro pitch and SP2016. The routing, I'm just routing them in series at the moment, and I can access parameters if I reach all the way over here. So if I press this button a multiple number of times, it will scroll through the program parameters. So these are like a global set of controls, mix, input, gain, things like that. Then I've got the parameters for algorithm A, which at the moment is micro pitch, and I can scroll through those using this knob up here and get access to all the parameters instantly. Again, a lot easier than the H9. Alternatively, if I press it again, I've got my second algorithm set of controls in here, and these controls map onto these little knobs on here, so I can instantly adjust them. Pretty handy in there. Let's go back now to our main mode, and what I've got here is I can press the perform button up here. This now changes the foot switches depending on the program, so you can assign these to pretty much anything you want. On the first perform mode, this is now set as the tap tempo, and I can activate each algorithm as I like. If I press this button, you can see I can scroll through different functions for this foot switch over here. Same thing applies here and here. So it's super easy to change up the foot switch functions. If I press perform again, I've now got a second page of foot switch options in here. And these are sort of like your deep parameters on there. So I could have, say, my first page on here set up for activating algorithm A, which was a micro pitch. And then if I'm on my second perform page, this is now going to control the flex parameter in there. If I want to get into the system parameters, I press and hold these two buttons here, and I can scroll through with the select knob and then press the select knob to jump in and tweak things. One of the big things in here is the way routing works on the H90. You can set it up as insert mode, or alternatively, you can run this as two separate independent effects engines. It is going to affect the way your presets work though. For the rest of the video though, I'm going to be using H90 Control on my computer. I'll give you a look at what H90 Control can let you do. Before we go any further, I just want to quickly clarify some terminology, namely program, algorithm, and preset. An algorithm here is going to refer to a different type of effect. So you might have something like Weedwhacker or Hall Reverb or Micro Pitch Shift. They are all different algorithms and they do different things. If you choose a particular algorithm and you find some settings that you really like, you can save that as a preset. So the preset belongs to that algorithm. Now on the H90, a program consists of any two algorithms, and you can have different presets in those algorithms. So basically, the program is the highest level. The program is made up of different algorithms, and each algorithm can have different presets. I've just started with this blank program. You can see on the left, I have a program list here. I've already got some of my favorite programs dialed in, and then you've got slots for each algorithm over here. At the moment, I just have these through algorithms, which just let you set the input and output gain on each of them. Not too interesting at the moment. Down the bottom, you have global program controls, so the overall mix, input and output gain, the hot knob position, and you can set the Killdry and tails on here as well. If we go to routing and inserts, we can control the routing within a program. So we can load up two algorithms and we can either have them both going in series, going in parallel, and multiple different combinations of those. Furthermore, if we choose to have inserts, there are insert controls like the send and return level, the overall mix for the insert, as well as latency compensation. I really like that control on there with the inserts. You've got control assignments, which let you assign basically everything on the front panel of the physical pedal in there. So your quick knobs, your performance foot switches, and your performance parameter mapping. And then the really interesting part, this is what we want to get to, the sounds. We've got the preset libraries. So you can see I've got slot number 1 over here. I can choose between different effect types. For example, maybe let's start out on this particular patch with a delay. So if I click delay, this will narrow down my selection. Furthermore, within the delay type, I could say choose something like the vintage delay, and this is going to give me a list of presets for that type. I'm going to bring up this, say, LT 12-bit over here, and you can see that it's loaded into slot A. Now I can go over to the parameters and actually dial this in. So you can see at the moment the wet mix is at 100. I don't necessarily want that. Maybe let's go to 30. Everything else is probably pretty cool. In general, I've got Killdry on, so I'm going to turn that off here because I'm just, again, routing these two algorithms in series. This is pretty cool. This is going to give me like a sweet sounding delay. You can already see on this particular preset that there are some hot knob assignments. If I want to see what they are, I can just click this arrow here. So you can see that this is set as a preset hot knob. Each preset in here has a hot knob, and you've got an overall program hot knob in here. So let's just leave that as it is. But you know what? I might blend these two delays together. So I've got a quarter note and a dotted eighth now. That sounds pretty amazing in stereo. Let's go to the preset library and let's load up an algorithm in slot 2 now. I'm going to unclick delay. I'm going to go to reverb, and let's try this SP2016 Reverb. Let's just go for, say, this dessert plate over here. I'm going to pop it in. I'm going to move over to parameters, and as you can see, what do we have? We've got the modern plate, about 30% mix, decays at 7 seconds. I might turn that down somewhere around 1.5 seconds over there. I'm going to leave that as is. We'll just have a listen to it. Now I've got my delay running in series with my reverb. So a gorgeous stereo delay running into that awesome SP2016 Reverb. We could do a few things with the routing though. Let's maybe route these in parallel. So I'm just going to select parallel over here, and you can see that I've got one algorithm along the top and another along the bottom. There are some options to have like both of them on the same chain and have them in parallel to your inserts. Keep it pretty simple for this example now. What I'm going to do is go back to my parameters over here, and this is how I like to do this and set it up if I'm going to run effects in parallel. I'm going to set the wet mix to 100% on both of these. I'm going to turn Killdry on. You'll see why in a second. So let's turn Killdry on there. What this means is that when I bypass one of those algorithms, no dry signal is going to go through and create any phasing issues. What I'm going to do here is just bring the program mix down here. This is going to blend in basically now this parallel chain with my dry signal, which is pretty nice. I'll bring that down, say, to about 40%. And what I can do is I can control the relative delay to reverb level with either the input or output gain controls on each of these. So let's do that and have a listen to it. For me, I want to bring that delay down just a little bit, so I might actually just drop the input gain by 3 dB. And if I'm happy with those relative levels, then I can just blend the whole thing up or down with the mix control. Here's another program that I've dialed in using some parallel routing and Killdry. The reason that I want that is that I want to be able to bypass each of these individually and not end up with phase issues. So sounds something like this. let's say I just want to bypass the detune. I can use the A foot switch down here. Now I'm just going to have that duct delay. Alternatively, I can just have the detune and turn the delay off on its own. I think a lot of people who follow my channel will enjoy this patch. I've called it Circles and Pans. You can probably guess why, but there's a 3-tap kind of panning delay with diffusion on the A algorithm, and in parallel in B, I've got this dual delay using Headspace. Check it out. Setting up the control assignments is super easy with H90 Control as well. I've got this fat fuzz patch over here with pitch fuzz running into stereo detune. In my control assignments, I've set it up so that my quick control knobs over here control preset A's fuzz amount. And you can see I can actually assign this to either a program control or one of the individual preset controls over here. I've got fuzz tone and I've got mix for the detune, which is off screen, but trust me, it's there. Then on the second page with the quick knobs, these are all the pitch controls on there. So I'm just going to play a little bit with this one. There's a super dirty preset, and I'll tweak with the quick controls. You hear one more preset. This is using 2 instances of Prism Shift in parallel. What I want to do is let you hear the difference between parallel and series with these. I've set up the foot switches for some freeze effects as well, which you can see in the control assignment. So my performance foot switches are tap tempo, freeze, and freeze for either of the Prism Shift instances. I'm going to swap the routing as I go. Check it out. Now that you're familiar with H90 Control, let's take a look at some of these new algorithms. I'm going to start off with Prism Shift. I'll just navigate through a few different presets in the preset library. This one essentially, you can play a chord into it and it sort of disassembles the chord and arpeggiates it in various different ways. You've got control over here for the high, mid, and low gain for each of your chords. You've got different feedback options, slew times, spread. I feel like I'm going to just have to do a deep dive video with just this algorithm in the future. Let me know if you want to hear that. But for now, I'll just play through some of these presets. They're pretty inspiring. Next up, we've got Polyphony, which is a polyphonic pitch shifter. You've actually got two voices that you can dial in here. Add the overall amount of shift to each voice. You can detune each voice by up to how many cents? Up to 50 cents additionally, which is kind of handy. And you can set delays and feedback. You can set the instrument type in here. There's also this handy auto EQ feature, which I'll let you hear. I'll turn it off and let you hear this 12-string style thing, and then I will bring it up. There's a few new modulation algorithms. There's finally a Univibe in here. I know this has been a long-standing request for the H9. It's called Evenvibe. I've dialed in this little one I've called Robinvibe over here. What's cool about this is you can set the stereo width on it as well. So I've set the width to 0 to start with. You can also set it up to follow your envelope. I think the envelope tracks to the speed control on here. Next up, you've got the Eventide Instant Phaser effect. You've got a lot of options in here. You can set the age, there's a manual control. Again, you've got envelope options in here. You've got feedback. You've got 3 different modes, shallow, deep, and wide. And you can also set up the source as either the oscillator, the envelope, manual, or various combinations of those. I'll just kind of go through each of these options here. Maybe we'll start out in shallow mode. You've got similar stuff going on for the instant flanger as well. Next up is a distortion algorithm. This one's called Weedwhacker, and you've got 2 stages in here. You can actually disable the second stage if you want. You've got basically identical controls for each of the 2 stages in here: drive, tone, mids, and level. There's also a gate built in. I'll let you hear the bypass tone and then I'll kick it in. Next up, Headspace, which is a virtual 4-head echo machine. You've got controls for wow and flutter, tape, hiss, recording drive, and individual controls for the level, pan, and subdivision of each head on here. There's also an extra control in here called boil and break. So these are pretty fun. I'm going to assign these to foot switches over here. Let's do this. We'll set up performance foot switch number 1. Number 2 over here. We'll set it as boil, and I'll be able to press that while I play and let you hear this. This one's set up for kind of like a driven slapback style thing. I've set up this one for some real warble. You can see I've got wow and flutter up above noon. Tape hiss I've got just below 3, and I've done a bunch of panning with my different heads in here. I'll let you hear what that boil control does as well. Now I'll let you hear what breakdown does. Bouquet Delay basically kind of sounds like a Boss DM2. There's a bunch of expanded options in there, so you can actually turn it into stereo, just at 300 milliseconds of delay with the feedback at noon, mix at 50%. Sounds like this. You can also set like a pitch jump interval and have self-oscillation on the foot switch. With some modulation and a stereo subdivision, it is absolutely gorgeous as well. And that one post gain with some dirt is gorgeous in stereo. There's this new mega reverb type in here called Wormhole. I'm going to start with a mix at 0 and just bring it in. This one definitely deserves its own video, I think. And to round things out, the SP2016 Reverb. This is probably my favorite reverb type in the H90. I'm going to pull up stumps for now. There are so many possibilities with the H90, and I do want to do plenty more videos with this in the future. So let me know the sort of videos you would like me to produce in the comments section below. Let me know your thoughts on this pedal. And overall, I think if you've dreamed of Eventide making a 2 H9s in one kind of pedal, this goes far beyond your wildest dreams. Thanks so much to Eventide for sending me this unit and letting me participate as a beta tester, or a beta tester as some people would say. You know, I'm from Australia, I say beta. Feel free to make fun of me in the comments. If you want to support what I do here on the channel, there are a bunch of links in the video description that will let you do just that. Hope you all have a fantastic day, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.